Good evening, Internet.
Good evening, Internet.
You have failed to stop us once again.
What's going on, everyone? What's
If you're
going
not
on?
if you're not careful, I will call the Empire in to assist.
You'd think,
We'll lock this planet down.
how high on the
Yeah, for
how
sure.
high on the Palpatine alert list do you think is a someone shows up with a lightsaber? Do you think that's like, right away he finds out about it? He's got like a Google alert.
He knows before you even decided to go to his house.
Just bring the call.
What is
Like
it?
Santa Claus.
What is the term laser?
Laser swords.
I don't even know what it is.
That's Mandalorian terminology.
Yeah.
Laser
A
swords.
laser sword.
Oh.
But no, guys, it's great to be back. How's everyone been?
Good. Yeah, ready to get back at it.
Great. I mean, I can't lie. Some pretty cool stuff's going on.
Can't
Yeah.
get enough of this stuff, you know.
Yeah. Finally, some will be brought to national attention more than just some riot after, we won the Stanley Cup or something. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Uh-oh. T Mitch is frozen. So I guess
Oh,
we gotta
no.
get to it.
We're in so much trouble now. So much trouble. I can't. I
You
don't
can
know.
upgrade to 2 gig Xfinity, man.
Is there a price lock on it?
Oh. All right. Well, all right. So let's get this going. All right. So this is your friendly neighborhood DP Brown. We have Obi. We have Ken Kenobi, right there at the bottom. We got Steel City Hitch in the hizzy. What's going on with ya? All right. And this is Nerd Cyclopedia, Carbonite Bound and BS, where we talk about everything that's Star Wars related. Are your nerds, favorite nerds talking about Star Wars stuff. Let's get some house cleaning done and out the way. So make sure that you're going to nerdcyclopedia.com where we're talking about all your favorite, Star Wars stuff, just culture content and everything. Make sure that you are going to our YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on YouTube right now, thank you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that notification button. So anytime that we're on, you know that we're on. If you are following us all over social media, we are at Nerd Cyclopedia on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all your favorite social media platforms, we're there. If you're listening to us on podcasts, we're on Radio, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. T Mitch is back.
I keep telling you
Anywhere
guys, late.
podcast, we're there. The latency has gotten to you, huh? Odyssey, yeah, we're there too. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you're sharing that our feed there. So you got it with all your friends and everything. So and also make sure that you're leaving us some email. Our email is still free after all this time on nerdcyclopediafeedback@gmail.com.
And that's no charge.
No charge.
All
Completely free.
stays inside the United States. T-Mitch, are you playing Counter-Strike on the other screen? Is that what's going on? Are you in a LAN party and you're getting all your bandwidth is being sucked out?
You know what's crazy right now? My laptop's. I think it's over. It's like running hot, but I also think I just retired Chrome, so we should be all right.
I was about to say you
I'm
probably
now
have too
on.
many Chrome, too many
I have.
files
I have
up or whatever.
nothing.
Apps up.
I think this is the first time I
and it's
turned my
still doing it
laptop
that?
on for like. This is the first time I turned my laptop on since our last stream, so it's probably like
Oh man.
running all type of background updates.
Did you
But, yeah.
upgrade your Netscape to 3.0? Because I
still
did
on-
that.
I'm still on,
everything runs better.
I'm still on AOL. I got the free trial. I think my free trial just ran out.
That
actually,
free
so
trial. You got some
to
disc in the
upload.
mail.
I got a free disc.
That's
So
what
I'm
that's
on,
what I have in the closet. It's just full of those discs for like 23 hours at AOL.
remember that? Yeah, I'm
Free.
on Mozilla Firefox this time. I'm on Firefox now for the week.
Firefox. Woo. They're still running strong. Still got it on my
Yeah.
desktop.
Yeah. But no, guys, yeah, it's really good to be back, and it's good to have some super fresh content, guys. I mean, it's been a little bit, we've been kind of going through the vision stuff, but as far as kind of like core Star Wars, I mean, geez, I don't even remember the last time we've actually got to talk about something so fresh, So it's
Yeah,
so
what was the last core Star Wars stuff that we talked about? I mean,
Probably Andor.
Ander.
yeah,
Mm.
Andor.
yeah, and that was how long ago? 8 months.
Like
That
at
was
least.
probably more than that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
About
So
right around this time last year.
yeah, so we're gearing up. But, no, guys, I guess we'll lead in as far as this is the Maul, Shadow Lord season one, and I'm glad they said season one. That leads us in a little bit, maybe foreshadowing of more, but our episode 1 and 2 review. So we'll start with Hitch this week. Kind of what were your initial thoughts? I mean, it's good to be back and good to discuss fresh content.
It is great to be back. Congratulations to us and to me particularly. I feel like I'm going to pat myself on the back for being here.
You should.
I deserve it, and I'm glad that I did that. I really enjoyed. I mean, I like this content, and you gotta love you have to love doing it the right way to have someone that's a Star Wars villain go and become a criminal, run a criminal empire, right? Like they blew it with Boba Fett, where they made him like a sheriff or something. Like that was that was Jabba the Hutt's job, was being the sheriff. Like no way, that's not. Anyway. So it's nice to see Darth Maul doing it right with trickery, with a Mary Sue robot, and just using his lightsaber out in the open. Like, hey, Sheev, you know where to find me, right? Which is the opposite of what the rest of the Jedi are doing. I like that we start with a heist. I like that it kind of begins as a detective story, which is also something that I think Andor did, and we saw how that story sprawled out and really showed the cracks in the Empire right for the first time. The first L someone hung on the Empire. That's what Andor was. So, I have a lot of open questions about what is Palpatine's role in all this. Is Darth Maul like his, go take over the syndicates, or you run the I can't have my hand in the black markets openly because I'm supposed to be the Emperor. And it would, if the Emperor says that a market is legit, it's not a black market anymore. It's just the market. That's just how it is with the Emperor. So I enjoyed this a lot. I like that the security droids are like talking about they almost did that bit where it's like he was 1 day away from retirement as a droid, you know what I mean? But it's like it was gonna go retire on the live forever or whatever. But I think this is a really promising format because Darth Maul is the type of character that doesn't have a moral floor, and he'll do anything, which keeps some very wide open areas of the plot available. And I also enjoy the fact that they have another found Jedi. That's one weird thing. Like the Jedi are like everywhere, like cockroaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You find one, it's not just one, right? There's more.
Right.
And how come the Empire has all these? Like, how come there's all these Jedi around? Like, what I thought what we saw was pretty clearly the shattering of the Jedi Order and the extermination of the Jedi, but apparently, I don't know. It's just government work, right? It's not government work if you don't do it twice. So that's what I have to say about. That's my reaction. Sorry, guys. I know that's turkey jerky.
Hey, the Jedi are like weeds and stuff. You try to stomp them out, they come back in another place. So they're just out there. I mean, at the time they were supposed to be wiped out and everything, it's just that he just didn't get them all. So they're just like basically out there. I love okay. So one thing I did want to say off top, Filoni tried to do his best to get any scene that looks similar to the end of Rogue One into the Darth Maul, the hallway stuff, He tried to get the cool, and hey, it hooked me. I was there. Darth Maul he looked super cool. With his sword, double-edged a laser sword,
Yes, laser
saber, the laser sword. but just the way he, with the cloak, the hood, the requisite, the typical requisite, him holding the lightsaber to the side and or down, to the bottom, and then it just sheathing. Like, I mean, you get every Star Wars fan like that, and then just the way the animation makes them move and everything, it was just top notch. I would say this each time they put out these Filoni style stuff, the animation and the detail just gets better and better. Now, I will probably say that I don't know if I'm tired of the block style animation that that's typical with this, but considering that's the style of the story and everything, I'm good with it. And I like this way better than what we got with what was that, the Shadow of the Empire or something, or what did we get a few months back?
Tales of the Empire.
Yeah, Tales of the Empire and everything. I like this way better than that. So far. The story is, you can't really go wrong with Darth Maul because he's such a like an anti-type hero and everything. And no telling what he's like up to. As Hitch was alluding to, we got another Jedi. Okay, so we got another Jedi. So what's going on with this one?
We have another
like her attitude. Oh yeah. Two Jedi.
Two Jedi.
Yeah. But I like her attitude. She's she has a real dark attitude, and she's fighting for what she still believes in. But seeing the whole world is like what it is and everything, it's just too dark for her to achieve the stuff that she wants to. But she still in her heart wants to still believe in everything. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I just like it overall. So these two episodes were really top notch to me so far.
What about you, Ken?
So Maul is a character that I've always wanted to see a backstory for. From being just a fan, Star Wars fan, all I saw was Phantom Menace, and he was in it for I don't know, 10 minutes. 10 minutes of time. It's about it. He had 2 or 3 lines. That was it. And we really had was menacing quality. Like we knew he was he the Phantom Menace? But it turned out he wasn't. But that's what I felt that he was the I thought and wanted him to be the main aggressor in Phantom Menace. But it turned out he was just a side character. So for me, this is an intense throwback to the prequel. And I hope that they go where I want them to go. I want them to fill in some blanks. Like, what was his importance? Why is he so angry at Sidious? Because he's definitely not a fan of the Empire, and he's not a fan of his former master at all. I think there's a lot of betrayal that we didn't see initially, and I think we're going to get that fleshed out a little bit. I think this vehicle, this animation we're seeing now, Bad Batch, is like the first example I can think of where we really had realistic, believable characters with emotion that we kind of bonded with, and I think we're going to get that here. Simple things like the poor cop. Everyone keeps playing with the BB-8 figure on his desk, and he's like, I can see in his eyes, he says, put my shit down, stop touching my desk, because 2 or 3 people have now gone past his desk, picked his shit up, and messed with it, and he grabs it and puts it down. And just that, seeing that in animation is legit. Like, that is the new way. I think that this is where Star Wars should live now. I mean, to be perfectly honest, because of the capability, the weapon play, the explosions, the ships, we can get these things, and man, they look real. And I love the background, where the background's kind of smeared, because it gives you that real perspective, that real depth of that we're looking into a city, and it has this like real gritty background to it. So I enjoyed that. I really like where the story's going, and I like we got 2 little chunks. We're not really sure yet. We know there's a gangster quality. We know Darth Maul is mixed up a little bit in this, but he's got it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about revenge. It's about getting, and that's a Sith thing about revenge. It's about getting your street cred back. He doesn't care about the money. He can have money. He says to his little alien friend, what's his name? Venus Valarm. He says, I could take all of that from you. That's not what I want. I want I want information. I could take all the credits I want and all the bartering. That means nothing to me. He's a legit mob boss, gangster, but he's got this like passion in him. And I really think that Darth Maul might end up being a super villain to me. Like even above Sidious, even above Vader. And I've been watching some New Hope, and I've been really kind of diving into like Vader a little bit. And he's a badass, but he's got some, as the story goes, he's got some chinks in his armor that you see in specific places. I like the evil that Maul has. Like, you have this idea that he's really he's impregnable. You can't get through to him. You can't negotiate with him. If he's on it, and if he wants you out, you're out. And he's cutting people in half and slicing and dicing, and has absolutely no moral compass whatsoever. He's in one direction. But I really like the story. And like we started off saying, this is season 1. That's great. Let's see season 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this is really good, and I enjoy the vehicle that this is being portrayed into. Music's good also. If you caught the Maul theme, is kind of like Duel of the Fates, but it's got kind of a singular melody that kind of just, it plays in like a real sort of demonic feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's legit. I'm a fan so far.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I echo I wouldn't say critical, but no, I echo everybody's thoughts. I'm excited for this, the way it's going. Interested on the timeline on the show, though. I thought it would be more kind of post, obviously, Order 66, but we find out that this is 1 year post Order 66. So maybe that's why we start to see some of these younger Jedi. I mean, these are kind of people initially starting to scatter the globe, I guess we should say, or the universe. So yeah, the timeline is a little early for me. I mean, this is obviously before we found out that he was alive, before he was then killed again, I believe, by Kenobi, right, in the animated series. So this is kind of like a prequel to that. So, you know, I'm excited to see this story, this kind of street level Star Wars story with, you know, tech kind of stuff we ask for, right? When we look at the media where we are now, and it's another conversation, but you know, fans clamored to get more of a street level Spider-Man. I think a lot of people have been wanting to see more street level, especially after Andor. We like to see a street level Star Wars story, right? So it's a shame it's only animated. Not to, I guess, Filoni's fault as he takes over the helm, and I'm excited to see where things go in the future. But I'm just excited for the first 2 episodes, and excited to kind of see where he takes it. I mean, as we say, Filoni's at the wheel now, right? So this is kind of his first project into his new regime, and we'll see. I won't credit him for Grogu and Mando, since that was done before him, but this is really his first project. So I'm excited to watch this season 1, if that's really what it is, season 1.
I think I saw that it got renewed, but that could have been.
Pretty sure it is. Yeah, they've been leaking out shit early. Like everything's been out. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's first renewed already and everything, just to keep the flow going and everything. I mean, because they got to get the animation done, and they don't want to have this span like 2 or 3 years apart to get the second season. So
yeah. One of the big things I've heard though from the press release with the new obviously co-CEOs with Josh Tomorrow and the other lady who is basically head of media. She was a big media lady, but her goal with growing Disney Plus is more content. So I think that we're going to see a lot more frequent shows for us to stream. I mean, they renewed Daredevil season Born Again for season 3 before they even released the start of season 2 this season. So I think we're going to see a lot more content rev up as they're trying to get the Disney Plus subscriptions back up, which is good for us. So I think there'll be a lot more content. Things like this, like we're saying.
Well, the key is it's got to be good stuff. Don't do like how it was last time where you just throw stuff out there and make mediocre stuff. I really got to revisit the Acolyte because I want to get a fresh perspective of that. Just to see if what I was seeing the first.
It recommends. I watched the 2 episodes of Shadow Lord, and immediately after the second episode, Acolyte started.
I think that's what prompted me to say something like that, because it did go right into like, okay, you should watch the Acolyte now.
I'm not watching that shit again.
The first 15-20 minutes of that first episode, and I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of like, it's vibey. I mean, I get it. I've already been in sort of a Star Wars mood, so maybe I'll do like you said. Maybe I'll go back.
You got to be in a mood. You got to be in a vibe and everything. You can't watch that in like
I'm not just going to sit down and
walk out in the woods, and they're going to leave you.
I think DP forgets
my life out here in the woods.
I think DP forgets the actual. I think you forget how bad the actual. I mean, I think you forget. Dude, we did a review on an episode where they literally, as Hitch said, just walked in the fucking woods. We talked for an hour over walking.
I forgot all about that. I forgot. Walking through the woods.
It was the Lord of the Rings complex, right?
Like that should have been great. That had a Wookiee Jedi in it, and they couldn't land
Wookiee Jedi, and they couldn't even. Yeah, they didn't even show them fighting.
Not concept, 100% execution. And this show, unlike the Acolyte, didn't dangle us and then not have a bunch of action. There's action.
Action.
Oh man. People getting cut in half, like you said.
Yeah, were you guys surprised about like how violent the show?
I did.
It's Darth Maul.
A couple of the kills were like, a couple of the kills are rated R, were fatalities, like Mortal Kombat style. When he picked the guy up and like slashed him in half, and they showed it, I was like, oh wow, like.
Yeah,
usually they pan away when he slashes, but they weren't panning away. They were like showing him slash things up, and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty crazy.
That is one thing the Acolyte did well. If you want to give them credit, they showed the graphic, like they showed all that stuff.
Oh, when they saw the little girl got stabbed up, was crazy. Yeah.
So okay, it's not a Zero show, but it's definitely not the one where I'm like, okay, what do I want to be watching for the next 5 to 10 years? What's my template? It's not the Acolyte. It's something more like this, right? Where it's action packed, but there's a good through plot. It didn't hold your hand and make you like. They didn't say, well, these factions have been fighting and now they have a truce. They just let it kind of unfold for you. You realize Maul has a plan, and unless it's like in Stratego, one of those colonels, it's like a 3, big boss all over the place, unless 1 and 2 shows up, right? Guys like probably the 3rd.
They kept inferring or sort of threatening that the Empire is going to show up at some point, and that's the big thing. Like, I don't think Maul really wants that to happen, but on the other hand, that would give him a chance to get back at his master, who I think he feels really did him wrong. But I am kind of anticipating episode 4 being a Empire episode where all this crap has happened on this planet. It's out of control. All these Imperial credits are going into the underworld. Okay, now the Empire has to get involved, because obviously the local the local law enforcement can't handle this shit. And it brings up a point. Boy, I'd hate to be a cop in this era of Star Wars, because they are,
man, I was thinking
ill-equipped to deal with this shit.
Yeah,
I mean, they are just.
They don't want to have the government, the Empire, get involved in everything. So yeah, they're going through some stuff, and they're lack of resources to get it done.
Right.
Yeah, they got nothing. So I think we're going to see a big Imperial presence here, probably episode 4, maybe 5, and that'll be legit, because we'll be that'll bring it all home for me. I'll see stormtroopers and star destroyers and TIE fighters flying all over the place.
And think about it from the perspective of a citizen of this planet. I mean, you have this local law enforcement, and they can't stop there for being heists, and
they can stop shoplifting.
Yeah, right. They can only stop that. They have this droid. So like the local authorities seem feckless and useless. And so who you call? Who you call when the planetary authorities are garbage? You call the Empire. And what does that do? The Empire gets to take control. So it would make sense if you were Palpatine that you would send your other minion, right, to destabilize the government by committing a whole bunch of crimes that no one can stop him for. It's like having Superman.
Atrocities against mankind.
Can't do anything about it. Well, you show up with all the cops in, say, like I don't know, Philadelphia, and you can't take one dude just kills them all and leaves. Like, come on. I would call in a higher authority. I would expect Philadelphia to call in at least the state, if not the feds, if that happened. That's what happens in GTA. You get 3 stars, and all of a sudden the FBI shows up with M16s. So it would make sense from a standpoint of this is the big conspiracy. The conspiracy theory is, Maul shows up and destabilizes us. The Empire comes in, and because it's a conspiracy theory in 2026, it is in fact true. So that makes sense on a meta level too.
No, I'm excited. They kind of alluded to. Obviously we know because this is a prequel, but this is basically the beginning of him taking over the Crimson Dawn syndicate. So he ends up being the head of the Crimson Dawn. So it'll be cool to understand kind of how he ascends to, I guess, the head of that crime syndicate. But I think the foreshadowing part of this is,
and that was from Solo, right? In Solo, that's where we were introduced to that concept of this
Crimson Dawn. So yeah, he's like
this underworld evil group, right?
So this is like the prequel to that. But I think we're forgetting the biggest part of this. We might get the second largest battle in history coming up if I get my wish, right? Because now that we know that he's an abandoned apprentice, before you even get the Palpatine, you got to meet somebody else, right? And that might be the craziest fight ever if we see that. I don't know if they'll put him on the show. But if we no, you're missing the most important one. If we hear the mask,
I was thinking about this. The
mask, bro. He's the guy before the final boss.
Imagine Vader's on the show and he's about to kill him, and Maul's like, "Oh, you have to let me go so I can go kill Obi-Wan Kenobi," and he's like, "Oh, really?" Like that.
So Vader, he's going to send Vader before Palpatine comes. Vader's going to have to.
But we know that fight wouldn't end. How would that end?
It'll be a draw and he'll escape.
It would have to be.
Doesn't matter. You can just cut him in half and then 2 grow. So what does it matter when you do Darth Maul, right? You can tell. Not that I'm going to harp on the problems with Phantom Menace that much, but basically, you realize as soon as it happens, like I never should have killed that guy. Like that's the guy.
It was like, I fucked up.
Mistake.
An iconic character I fucked up. Let's bring him back and say he got his legs put on somehow, cybernetically.
Sure, it's magic and the Force. Yeah, it's the Force.
Forget he fell down like a 100,000-foot shaft as well. Like his body didn't,
But we made our peace with that during the Clone Wars, right? Like we're already over. Right. He's got metal legs now, like Forrest Gump. He's got his new legs. You can take him anywhere.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. These 2 episodes made him look just as cool as Vader. It put him in a position. They really made Darth Maul look real cool and real. He's like Thrawn, except can fight. In a way.
And he speaks well. He speaks well.
Yeah.
And he's very Shakespearean. He's very Shakespearean. It's funny.
Which is strange because you'd think that species would be real real grunty, and like his guards, which I'm guessing are his chosen, his elite guards that he keeps around him. They're just thugs. They probably can't put 3 words together. And
what's up with the Mandalorian around him?
I know. right?
There's
Like,
so many. Yeah,
where
there's
did
there's
that
so many
come from?
plot. There's so many plot holes in this. Like, because this goes back before. I mean, who at this time? Then it would have to be what I'm guessing. Tar Vizsla would have been the head of the Mandalorians. Essentially, this is some Mandalorians who just defected
And
from.
isn't that what Sabine and them? They were sort of disenfranchised. They were just out on their own. Ronin. They
Well,
weren't
this
part
is
of
before.
anything anymore.
This is way before them because Sabine and them are way out.
Really? Oh,
This is
wow.
right after Order 66. Right after, 1 year after.
This is like concurrent with Bad Batch.
Correct.
Right. Where the Mandalorian were their planet was destroyed. The
Yeah, but
Empire
Sabine
came
wasn't
and,
even born
whacked
yet.
it.
I don't think Sabine was born yet.
Mandalorian, the destruction of Mandalore would have been like a year ago then, because that's pretty much concurrent with Order 66, because that happens.
Was it?
Yeah,
What's
it was
it
all
after?
the same timeline. So it makes sense that Maul would be able to pick up these Mandalorian warriors and I'll give you a job.
So I guess, yeah, if you look at the time, so who would have been, I mean, so this is basically the there's no ruler of Mandalore, right? If
No,
the
that's
planet's
gone.
destroyed, they're kind of all over the place. So, I mean, it makes sense that he has a couple of them, I guess, right? It's kind of, it just makes everything weird. You're right, because like, I mean, in the back of your head, like, who has the Darksaber now, right? Kind of, where's that? Where's that
I mean,
at?
it's sort of weird that they're working with him, but
Well, remember,
I mean,
a lot of
I'd
them
team up with that
became
guy
kind of
if I
like,
was.
yeah, a lot of them started working for the Pikes just to create credits because they have no way to make money. So a lot of them started working for syndicates. That's kind of what. Remember, that's what Din Djarin was. He was just like a bounty or whatever, bounty hunter. So
Yeah, and they mentioned the Pikes were a some sort of they were thieves and murderers because they were leaving their mark everywhere they sort of killed everybody. They left their mark. That was talked about in Solo too, and in the spinoff, and I think in Book of Boba Fett too. They talked about the Pikes. They referenced that because they said we don't want to go back to that. We want order. We want to know. We want to clean up all the riffraff.
So the Mandalorian had more than just like those couple factions based on I guess Mandalore being destroyed and everything around after, or was it after Order 66 or during Order 66 when it got destroyed?
Like around there. It's all
I
season.
think it was around that time, yeah. But I guess they all kind of split up. I mean, if there was, but you're right because when we go back to if we tie back into Ahsoka and some of the Mandalorian, I mean, they're kind of scattered. There's no, I think that's the whole gist of this, right? There's no essentially order. There's no ruler of Mandalore. So I guess they're kind of like doing their own thing. And then I guess brought back as we see on, the Mandalorian when they go back to that planet and kind of let's try to reestablish something. Because Sabine is on like some remote whatever. Her throne's like on some remote planet somewhere. So.
Yeah,
I think her goal is to reunite them
at this time, right? If we're saying like she was around here, she would be still a youngling. I mean, she wouldn't be warrior class, right? She'd still.
And what do we know about
right? 15 years in. Who knows? I mean, this is like 14 years before Rebels, give or take.
Oh wow, for real? Okay.
That's a minute. And Sabine's only 15, 16, so she's like a baby. Probably not going to go up with a flamethrower.
Filoni should have put a scroll in a crawl because
I wonder where they did that.
I'm just saying, so that would have made it so it is a period of civil war. Okay, we know where we are. There should have been like a crawl that sort of knew where we were dropping in because this is all new stuff. I mean, this is all new.
I 100% agree with you, Ken. But Filoni never did any of that on any of his shows, right?
No, but he's trying to pull back into the original Star Wars vibe. I mean, every Star Wars anything had a crawl. I mean, that goes back to like the newsreels and the cliffhangers of the 30s and 40s. There was always like here's our heroes, and here's where they are, and here's
are.
what's happening now. You always got that sort of introduction, but it would have been
Well,
nice.
you know what he did do in the early days of the Clone Wars. He did he had that, I believe in most of the episodes he had that
little
narrator in the beginning would tell you.
Right.
Yeah. So there was he's familiar with the concept. Why he didn't
disregarded
that here.
Come Bad Batch.
Yep.
Yeah. So Screen Rant has the official show notes. So it says Lucasfilm has directly confirmed that Maul the Shadow Lord is set 1 year after the end of the Clone Wars. In the end of the Clone Wars, Maul was shown escaping Ahsoka Tano's custody during Order 66, fleeing to the shadows as the Republic became the Empire ruled by his old master Darth Sidious. So that's kind of the old. That's the synopsis of this show, I guess. He escaped Ahsoka Tano's custody, and so Ahsoka is somewhere maybe looking for him to recapture him. But so yeah, she is.
Tano had Maul imprisoned, captured.
Correct, and he escaped. Yes.
Okay, and he escaped. So he's pissed about that. He's also pissed at Sidious.
Yes, because Sidious replaced him with some old man.
Some old man.
That's the thing George Lucas was like, messed up. It's like, look at this awesome looking alien with the horns and the double saber.
But remember though, don't we find out about? We found out about Anakin though. They tried to. Wasn't him and Ahsoka trying to stop Anakin and Darth Vader in the Clone Wars? Because he turned. Remember, he turned at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So Sidious knows about Vader and being replaced. Or not Sidious, but Maul knows about Vader.
Yeah.
Because they tried to they were trying to stop the whole thing as we watched it kind of play out the end of Order 66. So yeah, we got a lot of high stakes. I mean, 2 seasons. I mean, we have Ahsoka. We got big pieces on the board. We have Ahsoka. We have Vader. We have Sidious. I mean,
what about this other Jedi? Well, I mean, what do we know about the other? Yeah,
they didn't even. So I do like canon watching what the subtitles on. He doesn't even have usually they'll leak the listed names for subtitle obviously people. He has no listed name. She doesn't either yet. So they're kind of keeping those names under wraps.
He's got some real Yoda ability though, man, with lifting that bridge back up.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
was decent.
And he was and we got the impression that they're begging, they're living on the street, they're malnourished, they're not in the best of condition. And man, this guy comes out and just puts that bridge back together. I mean, it was so there.
And the cop didn't realize he was a Jedi.
I don't think they. Well, this is not. The cop was pretending like he didn't know what he was. Like it was kind of weird. Like they don't. Like they don't know. They kind of exist. The cop is like of the whole thing that like they're space wizards, and I think he doesn't understand or know.
But Maul knows who he is. Maul knows who that cop is. There's something because every time he sees him in the camera, he's like, this guy again. I get the impression that he's seen this guy before. He's dealt with him, and he knows he's not exactly what he seems. There's going to be some backstory with that cop, because I think even the way his son relates to him, and that the mother's kind of on the outside of what's going on, and the son and the father have sort of a secret that they're not telling mom about. I get the feeling there's some sort of something's being, something will be revealed about that guy. I don't know what, but he's got some sort of story. And Maul knows who he is. I don't know.
Makes sense if his kid was, dabbling some Force every now and then. And maybe
something. Yeah. If you look at his desk, there's like weird stuff all over his desk, like artifacts and stuff. I just feel like there's going to be something.
I only watched it once. Like, how many times do you see? Because I didn't really even notice the artifacts all like that. So,
well, the thing that everyone's playing with on the desk, it's like the little BB-8 figure, and then there's some other little knickknacks and stuff on the guy's desk. And that's what I'm saying about this animation is so great that it's doing
so detailed.
Yeah, it's so detailed. It's like you're watching a movie with live people, but I mean they're just drawn characters, but there's so much detail in the backgrounds, the books on the shelves, the pictures on the wall. I mean, you're seeing. I mean, it's like you're like looking through their house, like it's actually a house.
I'll tell you one thing. I mean, the whole vibe of the show so far is super dark, except for the lighter moments where you have like,
Yeah,
the
very
aliens
dark.
and like the droids and stuff. But it's super dark. I mean, I always compared to I mean to our favorite Andor show and everything, where that was just like its whole separate thing. But Filoni likes to get into like the action. He likes to get into like he doesn't like to leave you bored with a bunch of dialogue, with people sitting in the rooms and stuff. And that's the good thing about animation is that you can have your people, talking in the rooms, but you can also get straight to, at the action and everything, in the span of like 5 minutes. And that's what this show does. I mean, we got like some dope animation. I mean, we got some dope, like Hitch was saying, some dope action throughout like the first 2 episodes. I mean, you can't ask for. He likes to keep it simple, but complex enough to where you can still follow the story without getting really really lost with it.
Right.
It reminds me a little bit of how like The Wire would be sometimes, where like the different factions would fight each other. The cops would be aware of it, but they wouldn't like stop them, like put all of one side in jail or something. They'd just be like, well, one of the Barksdale guys just killed one of Prop Joe's guys, and now we got to deal with that. So there's just a turf war, and you just kind of have to figure out who's working with who and why it matters that that particular cop got assigned to this case. I also found
CBS doesn't figure all that stuff out. They just goes right, they just have their cops go straight to like the scene and everying.
Yeah, they'd be like, well, remember when your dad retired in 1987? You were working with my dad. And then they were partners. So now we're partners, and that means that we'll lie for each other no matter what. I definitely lie for you. That's exactly what it would be like. But this show, now they've created this world, right? Which is, they're signaling to you that this is a Clone Wars spinoff because they're using the style we like that we're talking about. That's like makes everything look like a Ralph McQuarrie painting, right? I was definitely getting those vibes. A lot of the exterior shots felt like they were just straight out from Ralph McQuarrie's book. So they're telling you, hey, this is like a Clone Wars story, and so you kind of get, right, like, okay, they all have to have some significance there, and you get a little bit of like Chekhov's BB-8 model, right? That looks a little bit like a thermal detonator. The smart droid. Obviously, there's some weird's going on there. So that's very capable droid.
Yeah, very, very, very.
With mannerisms, like human mannerisms, where he's like he's kind of like holding his face, and his eyes are, giving you a little bit of emotional impression. I mean, it's like he's a jokester, there's like a lot of funny. What is he going to say next?
That's a Filoni staple right there.
Yeah. You're right. And even the other droids, although they get picked off, they are sort of there to protect the human element too. So the humans aren't really getting jacked too much here. We've seen some aliens go down, but most of the humans have come through all right. It's basically, we're seeing the droids right now getting whacked.
Breaking stuff is morally bad as killing things, right? Like, you wreck a car, you wreck a car into a bunch of, a kindergarten. Ooh, that's a big problem, right? So that's to tell you right there that they're using these droids to be basically targets or henchmen. Like Batman 66, right? Like they're just gonna, and who cares? Because it's just like, again, crashing a motorcycle. Like, who cares? It's not something I would be sad if I crashed a motorcycle I owned, because that would be wasteful. But it's not a moral tragedy where I would be like, can you even believe that this, moped, this terrible moped was destroyed in this crash? What would happen to the person? Who cares? The moped. What's important.
But the
Well, you know.
moped destroyed and burnt down a kindergarten, a bunch of kindergarten. Now, news at 11.
News at 11. Damn that moped. A moped.
Oh, oh my god. Anyway, this clank. Sorry, I didn't mean to use the language. Apologize.
You said clankers.
The children.
Right. No, but yeah, I mean, it's been a fun 2 episodes. I mean, I watched those two, I kind of like it started like dawning on me like the whole Disney v Netflix, should they like release the whole season or should they do this weekly rollout? Like that like duality, like still I don't know in this current, and I know why they're doing it, just because they don't have enough media. Because Netflix can do it because they don't have just Netflix exclusive. They buy content from other providers and they're able to put it on there. I'm still I don't know kind of in this current day and age or with streaming and TV media, like how I like rollouts. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. It's cool because
I
we get
think
to talk
they're
about it weekly.
yeah,
Break it
yeah.
down. But like, I
They're,
don't
they're
know.
they're trying to fill it out. I mean, what is it? It's 8 episodes. They're doing 2 a week, right? Up until like
Yeah,
the
is it 2 a week or are they?
yes,
I think
2 a week up until the season finale, which is on Star Wars Day, May the 4th. So they got the season finale on that day. But yeah, so it's they're just filling away this new way of watching stuff. It's so much stuff out there, so much content out there to really just roll it out traditionally. It has to be really
right.
super. I mean, they didn't even roll Andor out like that, they
No.
could have. But the way Andor was structured, you just sort of had to do it like how it was done. But I'm fine with it like this. I don't necessarily want all my food all at one time, just sparse it out, give me something to eat and, have me waiting, have me begging, getting some more good stuff the next week and everything. I'm fine with that. I can wait.
I will
Yeah,
say
and I
You know?
think
you
the
are right
episodes are
when
about
they do.
25
Yeah,
minutes, aren't they?
yeah, but they do it right though because they lay it out two at a time, right? So it's like you
Hmm.
get an hour. So it's kind of like that Andor filled. You get an hour's worth of content. I think that's
Yeah.
palpable for me. If they just did the 20-minute, the 30-minute thing and laid it out like over 10 weeks, I think that would be too long because it's hard. You know what I mean? It's just you lose a little bit of interest. But what they give in 2 weeks to kind of give you almost an hour's worth of content, it allows you to be able to discuss more and kind of, yeah, you're right. I think a 5 week rollout because in past we discussed it. We've only done they were doing one a week, and it was just
Well,
you
Bad
know
Batch was one a week, and some of those
yeah,
episodes were not good. It
no,
was only like the mythology stuff that was,
right,
actually made it like really, really good. But when they got on those on one-offs and stuff, remember when we used to complain about those?
oh them
Oh,
side they do those side
A
quest
real
side
sad
episodes.
quest.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
What a planet of dinosaurs now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, I do miss those guys though, man. They need to.
Well, they can come to this show. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, they can all be here.
I'm
This
saying this is a perfect, yeah,
they have
perfect
these,
time frame.
and this is what they should be doing, right? Where this focus of the story moves around a little bit in time. We see some of this, stuff that's like 20 years before the Battle of Yavin, and then we see a lead up to that to see what happens with these characters after. Because Darth Maul probably should never die. I mean, ever, right? I mean, he should just be forever. Like, he should show up in the sequel trilogy for sure.
Oh
Just
yeah. He's too cool to just let leave on the sidelines. Speaking which, after the sequels, I should say. I did want to ask you guys the Starfighter thing. Like,
Yeah,
what is that?
it's
what do you
essentially 9.5 kind of.
like?
So
What do you really expect it to be? What is Star Wars without any type of empire? Without
this
any
is
type of
it's after episode 9 if you read the notes. I'm actually kind of excited about it. Um, I like I like the casting. It's a Jedi movie though. It's going to be Rey supposed to have a cameo in it. Yeah, it's after episode 9. So this is like leading into if we do get to episode 10. But it's kind of like if it was like The Punisher, I think it would be like a special presentation, but it is a movie, so it's kind of like leading into. I think it's dip your toes in the water to see how it's received, and then they might. I mean, there's a lot of talks out there. They still might do that whole Ben Solo thing that he's still alive, and they're
I would
that's
love to
gaining
see that.
that's gaining some steam to see as Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo is actually back, and there's a lot of steam that John Boyega will be a Jedi, and he is part of the new kind of which is crazy because he bitched and cried about inequalities and kind of like the dude on Cyborg, that kid who cried. But yeah, so all of a sudden, because he can't get work, he's back on Star Wars. But yeah.
Okay, first of all, that character was treated poorly.
Who cried?
Specifically in episode 9. So I don't. To me,
I'm talking about his Collider interview though. That was crazy, bro.
they had. It's like, you know what? They couldn't be like, okay, we can't. We want these two characters to get together, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for their story or personalities. So we're gonna do something else. But because we started the one way, it's gonna look weird, and then everybody's a Jedi and nobody's a Jedi at the same time. You get to decide, and it's not. It doesn't like. Here's the thing, right? Game of
Certain
Thrones.
Jedi could do lightning strikes out of their fingers and hands and stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what Game of Thrones got right. They have that thing where over time, like the amount of magic kind of goes up and down a little bit. And there's eras where there's like a lot of magic, and then there's eras where there's no magic at all, right? And everyone thinks that people do magic are magicians instead of wizards. And I think that's really neat. But in Star Wars, they have this weird thing where it's like sometimes you have to have, right, the Jedi blood, and it's blue, right? It's very rare, and it has to be passed down consensually, pretty much, right? It can't be accidental. And sometimes where it's just like some kid with a broom, yeah, it's fine. Do you believe that you could be force sensitive?
And sometimes everyone's a Jedi.
Right. So exactly like in this show, suddenly these two randos can't figure out. Like that dude could have just convinced that guy to just give them those melons or whatever those things were, tomatillos or
Right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you really want us to try them? And they will, give it to them.
But that would be a Jedi doesn't do that. They don't use the Force for themselves. They only
but as Maul saying though, remember this is post Order 66, so they're basically like, yeah, Yoda fucked up, bro. Like all his teachings weren't right. So
I guess they can just go whatever they want to do with it. I guess
that's the kind of Maul depiction when he's talking to her about like the world has changed, the Jedi has changed.
We're on the same team. What can I do to convince you that we're on the same side?
He's kind of, in this show, he's kind of an anti-hero. He's kind of like, like a Deadpool or like the Punisher.
He's raging against the authority that is the oppressive state of the Empire that means nothing more than to blow your planet up eventually.
Right.
Literally, we know all that's true. And from this perspective, that would seem like a conspiracy theory, like a crazy thing. Like, you know what I mean? If you say that in one year after Order 66, the Emperor is literally making a space station that can blow our planet up. People would be like, that's crazy talk. Do you have any idea how many planets
do that? Right.
Well, no one's even going to. Why would he even have to do that? He can just blow the planet up from orbit. He doesn't need to go to that extreme. So why would he even bother? And then he just does it. So, if I'm a Jedi, I'm probably at the very least a political revolutionary, or I'm going to say that, hey, we got to overthrow this government. And I would think that willing participation in commerce would be secondary to my desire to, one, survive and perpetuate the Jedi religion, I guess is the way you'd have to say it in this context, right? Perpetuate the Jedi worldview. And two, to work against this evil, authoritarian government that I happen to know is run by an evil wizard, because I'm a good wizard. So that would make me at least as politically revolutionary as, say, the Bolsheviks in like Russia in 1910 or something like that, right? I'd be at least that angry at the state. And so, sure, I'd be fine with stealing to live, right? I mean, it's not for nothing that Andor starts with that bank heist, right? And we find that there's a very close connection to revolutionary activity and straight up naked, fist robbery, which is not by the way, historically aberrant. That is something that revolutionary groups did and do.
You're right though. I don't know why she just didn't, or why she didn't put him in her her Jedi robe or tunic. Like, put him in your damn pocket. Like, she gets bumped and they fall over. It was like kind of clumsy. Like,
if the Jedi are all like smooth and they can tell when people are paying attention, they can intuit your emotions. Shouldn't they be smoother than like I would be stealing some oranges off someone? Like, I feel like I could do a better job than that because they wouldn't just like drop all the oranges everywhere. You know what I mean? Have it zipped up or something, or in a pocket, or holding them. I wouldn't just be flinging oranges about willy nilly.
Yeah,
I'm not a Jedi. I mean, I do not have that.
You're not.
You are not a Jedi.
Not have that sort of charisma. It has been told.
I just don't like the lizard I guess Jedi master. Like, why do all the masters like have like the worst like hidden costume? Like, he has like that like pipe, like he's like crippled, right? And then he like magically like Yoda, like he has this like cane. And then when it's time to fight, he's so cool he can stand, he's normal. And then his like, you know, kind of him going into hiding is like he has to walk with this like piece of a like, I don't know, like sink pipe that's like kind of like bent up. I'm like, dude, you don't need the cane. It's like he's trying too hard with the costume.
What if
same Clark Kent had the glasses? He didn't need the glasses, but he wore them because that was his alter ego. That was the way he was.
Clark Kent wore the glasses. Clark Kent wore the glasses because the glasses have a power ability that actually hides him. I just found that out. I didn't know that. Clark Kent's glasses.
I'm talking Christopher Reeves.
Oh,
Clark Kent didn't wear. He wore the glasses because he was Clark Kent, and that was his disguise. There was no mystical energy field created by all living things. He just wore some.
I didn't know that though. That's like Superman lore. I'm finding out that I didn't know his glasses actually had an ability.
That's from his.
It varies from writer to writer because that is not canonical.
Well, which one's real, DP?
Right.
We'll have that discussion.
I also didn't know that Superman could go right around the world and everything and make things go back in time like he did in the first one. So that was like news to me.
Well, isn't that that's the super character that we want? He can do anything. He can go around the earth and turn time back, and then he could make time go forward.
I had no idea Superman was that powerful, where he can reverse the rotation.
It's in his name, Superman.
I've never seen Superman get his ass whooped as bad as he did in the last movie. I'll just say that for free.
Boy, you gotta get his ass whooped sometime, or else what's the point?
But I'm talking about the bleeding, like the blood. I mean, you heard Batman say, "Do you bleed?" I mean, this guy was leaking the whole movie.
You bleed,
right?
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So that was fun. It was fun, and it was a good movie. I still think, DP, we might owe him. Did we discuss Batman? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Not Batman, but Superman. I think we went over that.
Yeah, I think we did. So we got some more stuff coming up soon.
We got some stuff coming.
Stay tuned
on our other channel for sure. But
because that's going to be like right after Maul, right? If Maul ends on 5-4, Mando Grogu's like one.
We're flowing right into Mando.
Can't wait for that one. I think they just released the second trailer again, so
it'll be good.
We're
just gonna. Here's what I think is gonna. I think it's gonna be great as long as they don't just replace Darth Maul randomly, like a third of the way through this series with some old man and pretend like they never did that. You're like, no. What about this really cool? Nope, didn't do it. Never happened. Got cut in half. That's how that ended. That was
this really old man. Who is that? I'm Darth Maul. No, you're not.
But it's Christopher Lee, so he is like legit really scary. You know what I mean? He's the guy who told Peter Jackson, like, that's not what someone sounds like when you stab them in the lung. Why? How do you know that? He's like, well, in World War II, I stabbed some people in the lung. Anyway. Just some old man.
No, guys. It's definitely been a good start to the season and a good fun 2 episodes. So can't wait to be back next week to break down episodes 3 and 4. As we can do 2 at a time now, which is cool. So
2 at a time.
And we'll be here.
Everybody coming
free
back.
Email
for sure.
Interact with
free
us.
Email,
help us.
Free interaction as always. Internet. So until next week, guys. This is the way.
This is the way.